BuzzFeed have published a new feminist recruitment video, and we're going to have a little look at it. In particular, we're going to be looking at how things are presented. While plenty of questionable things are said, we're going to let most of that slide this time. Hopefully you'll be able to see why.
So I feel like there's been a resurgence of the word feminist. Whether it's Katy Perry, Beyonce, Emma Watson, that word is in the pop culture discussion at the moment. The question I'm wondering is, can a man be a feminist? And if so, are we even welcome?
This man is going to be our guide. Think a bit like a BuzzFeed version of Louis Theroux, but trying to get you to join the group he's investigating. So how will his mission to answer this question begin?
I decided to ask men on the streets of Los Angeles one question.
What do you think that question's gonna be? The one that was just in giant pink letters? Can a man be a feminist? The thing he's trying to look into?
Do you consider yourself a feminist?
No, of course not. He asks them if they are feminists.
I don't consider myself a feminist because, you know, I'm masculine.
Are you a feminist?
No.
What do you mean by that? Not at all.
Okay.
Hey, you're a comedian, man. This guy's funny.
What does this tell you about whether or not a man can be a feminist? Nothing. So why do you think this was included? Well, how intelligent do men who aren't feminists look? There are two more answers he includes though.
I treat females as equal to males, so I don't really feel that I need to be pro-female and putting females ahead of males.
A slightly more articulate no.
No.
Look at that again. It's like he got slapped, and if he regularly looks at people like that, I wouldn't be surprised if he does get slapped.
Why not?
I'm not a woman.
So it caps off with one that seems to relate back to the question, can a man be a feminist? But not necessarily, and of course he had to just leave it hanging as an implication. He couldn't clarify and say, could you be a feminist though? Because the guy might say yes. And why risk ruining your video?
Now, I'm sure you're probably thinking that I edited this down, that not everyone I asked answered no. But you'd be wrong.
Suspicion gone.
Every single male either said no or was unsure what feminism even meant.
Every single male. Come on mate, say the number. What is he telling us? That he only asked those 6 guys? Or that he asked more but it was more of the same? And they were unsure what feminism even meant? Did he ask them? I thought he was just asking, are you a feminist? And again, what does this have to do with whether a man can be a feminist or not? Maybe they slipped. Maybe this video was meant to be called, Men Should Be Feminists, Why Aren't They? Anyway, never mind any of those kinds of questions. What matters is that the plebs on the street are clearly confused, and our boy at BuzzFeed is going to act on that.
So I decided to speak with Dr. Juliet Williams, a professor at UCLA's Department of Gender Studies.
It sounds so natural, doesn't it? They're still trying to keep up the veneer of investigation, as if he had that first idea to ask men if they're feminists, and then thought, gosh darn it, my question still isn't answered, what can I do now? And then found her.
A central message.
Okay, the music's cut out, so listen very carefully, children. Seriously though, this big middle chunk is just your typical feminist sales pitch. The feminism is good for men spiel. So I'm going to spare you most of it. But check this out.
It's very bad for men too. It saddles men and women with so many limiting...
Even the music is there to convince you. We've gone from slide guitar doofuses on the street.
What do you mean by that?
Sorry, that was rude of me, but we've gone from those guys to something that's almost like an advert.
The idea that in order to have social value, you have to be aggressive and competitive and angry and all these expectations.
They've almost got me, guys. The music, those slow-mo video clips, it's too much, it's too real. I'm realizing that as a man, I have issues only feminism can address, but I can hold out, unless, oh no.
Cause so much suffering.
I've seen young men suffering from mental illness, unable to ask for help, for fear it would make them less of a man.
This academic is backed up by a celebrity. How could I possibly resist going along with this now? Returning once again to seriousness. What they've done here is interesting. They've made an Emma Watson echo to reinforce what's being said. There it was the idea that gender stereotypes, feminism fights, hurt men. But they also use this trick for their recruitment message. Their I want you to join feminism moment.
This is a movement that is by, for, and about women, but it's also very much something that men are welcome to participate in.
Hey, he finally got his question answered.
And in fact that we need everyone, man, woman, and child, to be on board with this.
It could just be me, but doesn't that sound a little bit world domination-y? And here comes the echo.
How can we affect change in the world when only half of it is invited or feel welcome to participate in the conversation? Men, I would like to take this opportunity to extend your formal invitation.
Ooh, and now we can add applause of the UN to list of things supporting what we're being told. So, now there's just one more bit to look through before I recap. And I have to ask that you please not take a sip of drink before I play this next clip.
Being a like straight cisgender man and not identifying as feminist is an incredibly fragile state of being to be in.
I've watched that a few times. Every single time, it fucking gets me. And I think his buddy was laughing at him too.
Of being to be in.
In fact, that might be what's setting me off. Anyway, that's one of our guide's friends. He talks to a few others, but it's the usual, I don't identify with traditional masculinity, or here are some women I like, when describing what feminism means to them. And they don't feed into the video the same way the first guy does. Go watch it for yourself if you want to, but check this out.
Feminism allows men to admit weakness and insecurity and sort of like give ourselves some slack off of this totally unrealistic standard of masculinity that we've been presented.
We've had the sales pitch for this snake oil, and now this guy is the testimonial. He's the guy saying, it works, look, it works. And then following his review, the very last bit of the video is back to the academic, and the answer to the original question.
So you're saying that men absolutely can be feminists and should be.
I am saying that, and it's super surprising when they're not.
Right, I'm aware that this video has mostly been description of what's been on screen, but I've been waiting for a while for a fresh piece of propaganda as fully packed as this one. And I think the only thing they really screwed up was the video's trajectory. The ending doesn't hit the way it should, because that had already been said earlier. To applause, in fact. Whoever made this video blew their load too soon, is what I'm saying. Still, from the documentary-like presentation to the use of music, I think this is a video that may well get behind people's guard. At the time of recording this, their video has been viewed 250,000 times, and 14,000 people liked it enough to click that button. Just imagine how many, because there must be some. How many people came away from that video thinking they'd learned something new, or maybe had an idea of theirs reinforced, purely on the back of the manipulation? On second thought, maybe it's best not to think about that. But, as usual, that's just another one of my harmful opinions. This month's Blacklist collection design is by Laura J. If you like the design, there are links in the description of this video to Teespring campaigns where you can order it on a shirt.